All right, we're live.
All right, everyone. This is the first Blast Roundtable. It's a town hall meeting based on basically what happened this week at the elementary school in U Valley, Texas. Uh, we're going to do this roundtable style. So we're going to have Blast podcast host popping in and out every single time, throughout the broadcast. I'm going to vamp here for a little while and just wait on a couple of other ones come in before I give the rules of how this is going to work. I want to say thank you for anyone that's out there that may be listening, or anyone that's going to listen, or anyone that is going to be seeing this this as a recording. As you know, these are trying times in our country, and something has to be done. So we decided that we needed to voice what all of us had going on in our hearts and minds this week, as well as get the opinions and the voices and everyone and everything from the viewers and the listeners, because we're all going through a little something because of this. Something has to happen. We all know basically what it is. It's just not happening for whatever reason. Gun violence is not happening for whatever reason. It is easier for a person to buy a gun than it is to buy cigarettes or beer or whatever, and doesn't really make any sense. But we're going to get into all of that later. We're waiting on a couple of other hosts to hop on the panel, and then we're going to get started. You see right now we have Mr. D-Ray, the producer, and we have the Veep down there. D-Ray, how is your week going? How's your day going?
Hey, it's going, brother. We made it to Friday. We're thankful to be in the land of the living. As they say, that's half the battle. I, just like many of us, we've been paying attention to what's going on down in Texas, and to be quite honest, we're a little fed up. You know what I mean? We're a little. This one not only hits close to home, but there seems to be more of a hidden agenda that we're now getting the news on. We're getting bits and pieces of the lack of the lack of professionalism, the lack of protection, the lack of whatever the case may be in law enforcement in this is it how do you pronounce it? Uvalde, whatever.
Yeah.
And we're getting the reports as we're getting this information is staggering. It's like just when you think you can't get any more angry, something comes out and okay, now I'm even more angry. Now what are we going to do? What there has to be something done. There needs to be something said. There needs to be something. And I guess it's a human response to, before I explode, I got to take care of me first.
Yeah.
And so, but that still doesn't shield me, especially if you're a creative. You know what I mean? When you're someone that you make your living, or your whole thing is on creating art from the reflection you see of society. That means you're paying attention, and stuff like this it makes you just want to get numb and just cut off the world. So
yeah. Veep, how you feeling, man?
Hello.
Hey. Hello, Tori. How are you?
Hello.
we
I'm
are
doing good. How you doing?
we're doing fine. We are vamping a little bit. We're waiting on one more person to hop on, and then we're going to get started, and then we will have the other ones trickle in throughout the broadcast. So
Oh, okay.
just asking Veep right now, how is he doing this week, and how
So
is
far,
this
so far,
affecting?
so good. Just trying to get over COVID, and it's been whooping my butt, but it's not as bad as it could have been. But I'm here and definitely looking forward to see what we discuss.
All right. We want to introduce you guys if you wasn't around for Therapist Tori inaugural show that happened at 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. I want to introduce you guys now to Therapist Tori. How are you doing this week in the wake of everything that's happened? You're in Houston, right?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
in Houston. I don't know. I mean, I think, it's just a lot of shock. I mean, even though stuff like this has happened before, it still kind of puts you in a state of shock, like
Yeah.
you really don't know what to think. I mean, then, I see pictures of these little babies, these little kids that, it's weird. It just doesn't make sense. And, I know these types of issues become like really politicized and, politicians start fighting and all this, but it's like none of that really solves the problem,
Yeah.
I mean, I know they want to support, I guess the Second Amendment or whatever, the right to bear arms, but you have to realize that firearms are going to be in the possession of people that are mentally unstable,
Yeah.
and then schools are not set up to deal with stuff like that,
Not at all. Not at all. And how are you doing, Miss Lena?
Greetings, everyone. How are you? I'm a
We
little
are
tardy,
doing-
but I'm here.
Hello.
Hey, how are you, Therapist Tori?
I'm good. Good to see you.
Trying to get you
Yeah,
synced up there.
Can't hear you. Say it again.
I said we was trying to sync up your voice with your mouth movements.
Is there a delay?
Yeah, it's a slight delay. It's okay. You're all right.
It's okay. It's
That's
okay.
late plans.
I think you're caught up now.
Yeah.
You're good now.
So we were just vamping a little bit till the rest of the panelists get here. For those of you who do not know, this is Lena J. She's an associate producer here with Blast Media. And actually this town hall was her idea. She felt that it was worth us getting on here talking about it. So how have you been doing this week in the wake of everything, Miss Lena?
Oh, I'm of mixed emotions because, quite frankly, I'm looking at it from various perspectives. As a parent, as a part-time art instructor, which means I'm in the classroom a lot of times, just as a citizen of this country who, although I'm in support of people having their rights to their Second Amendment and all of our unalienable rights or all of our governmental rights, but there's a line that's being crossed that is concerning me, because when you get to the point where your right to bear arms is creating this tragedy after tragedy after tragedy, you start to wonder. Again, I'm at a loss of words here. I really am, because it makes me not want to turn on the news.
Yeah.
The reason to kind of get my thoughts together because I'll be honest with you, I'm still kind of processing being in on this meeting and whatnot. But my short answer is I'm okay, but I'm concerned.
Gotcha. Let me see. I know we're waiting for a few other ones, but they are going to be trickling in throughout the broadcast. So once they arrive, we're just going to start, bring them in. But for right now, I think we have enough people here to go ahead and get started.
Let me grab my headphones. I'm also not able to hear you that well.
Okay. Well, first of all, again, I would like to thank all the viewers that are here to voice your opinions and your concerns. I would also like to thank the members of Blast Media that have given their time this Friday to discuss this deeply concerning and problematic issue that continues to happen in this country. Once again, we have Therapist Corey, we have Lena J, we have Veep, we have D-Ray, the producer. We will be having B Shaw here soon. We'll be having DJ Goot here soon. And whichever other of the numerous podcast hosts that we have that may be trickling in throughout the broadcast. This week, we were all shocked and appalled by the senseless massacre of 19 innocent students and 2 teachers in Uvalde, Texas. This heinous act was once again perpetrated by a young man with legal access to an AR-15 assault rifle. We are here to discuss how and why this continues to happen, why it only happens in this country, and most importantly, what can we do to prevent it from happening again? Hey, Bonnie, how you doing?
Hey, Bonnie.
Hey, sorry I'm late. The power was gone on this whole street, so they knew I wanted to come on here and say stuff. That's why I went out. I'm sure.
No problem.
It's good to see you again,
hey,
Bonnie.
Ray, how you doing?
Maintaining. How are you?
Good. Where's my Troy? Oh, there he is. I see him with his fake name over there, Veep. I'm just
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. We'll finally see you.
I know, right?
So,
hello. Is it Bonnie?
Yes. Yeah. It's not my real name, but that's the name.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
you. So, to make sure we keep everything in order, I will present a topic and choose the panelists to begin the speaking. Once that panelist has completed speaking on that topic, I will choose the next panelist that wants to speak on that topic. Once the panelists are finished talking on the topic, we will bring up the question and comments from the viewers. After that, we will move on to the next topic. Understand? We all on the same thing there?
Good.
Got you.
All righty. So the first topic, gun rights activists and politicians claim that more guns are needed to combat the gun problems we have in this country. Please tell me your feelings on this and if you agree and or disagree. Now I'm going to start with Therapist Tori.
Oh. I to be honest with you, I've never been a supporter of people having guns. I mean, I know that people have a right to have guns, but I just never have liked them. I just, I feel like that causes more problems than helps, and at this point, it's difficult to control who gets these weapons. I mean, we see what happened. I mean, it's been happening, that an 18-year-old or even younger, have access to weapons, so I don't think that's going to help.
Okay.
More guns and distribution, I don't think is going to help.
Yeah. D-Ray, what are your thoughts?
the logic of it, we need more guns, reminds me of the history, the part of U.S. history where we were involved in a Cold War with Russia, and there was the idea that we needed more nuclear weapons than they needed, and that the idea was if we have as many nuclear weapons as they do, they wouldn't be so in a hurry to push the button, knowing that if they try to destroy us, we can destroy them. That doesn't necessarily work when you're talking about guns. Because the average American citizen, shooting someone is an unnatural act. Okay, taking someone's life is an unnatural act. So the idea that you want to put more guns in the hands of people who are, for all intents and purposes, untrained, that can only lead to one outcome, a bloody outcome.
Mm-hmm.
A lot more people dying, a lot of more accidents, a lot more, just more and more stuff that we're trying to prevent. And so, to answer the question, I do not agree that more guns are the answer. I just don't.
Bonnie, what are your views on this?
Well, it's I'm a weird one, and the only reason why I'm saying that, so I'm Hispanic, right? And my dad, I've been around guns my whole life. I do not like guns. I would never own a gun. My daughter would never own a gun. Probably my grandson would never own a gun. But I've been around guns my whole life. But with that being said, I never knew what the guns were. Then when we got older and he bought more, they were in a gun safe. Never knew what the key was. Never knew what the combination was. I don't think anyone did but him and my brother. And my brother was just because for a safety reason. But with that being said, I don't agree that I think there should be stronger laws for anyone. First of all, like the other day, why did he have an AR, whatever he had? Mm-hmm. What on earth? My dad, who is an avid hunter, and I hope, I don't mean to disrespect anyone, an avid hunter, he either had a rifle or a pistol. That was it. He never had any. Again, but with that being said, I'm not a fan of guns at all, because I don't think guns kill people. I think people kill people, and it is that mental health. It goes a whole lot farther than that, because not only does my dad have guns, my brother has guns, my nephews have guns, my brother, but again, they do it literally for what they do. They don't go try to buy anything more. They don't try to add to, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
definitely. It's literally just what they do, their hobby. They either go ski shooting or they go deer hunting or dove hunting. That is it. They don't ever take out their guns just to show people. They don't ever, the only time I've ever seen a gun is when I'm at my grandparents and all my uncles are out there trying to do whatever. But even then, we're never around them when they clean it. We never, it was just never, it wasn't a toy to us. And again, I'll end it with, no, I think there should be stronger gun laws. I think really, someone said something yesterday, and I'm so pro-life, I'm my queen. I'm the queen of my body. No one's going to tell me what to do with it. It's just that simple. Mm-hmm. But I just feel that they care more about the fetus than humans right now.
Yeah.
And so, no, I don't think that I don't think we should have more guns. I think that there should be stronger gun laws. I think this guy just turned 18 and he bought it on his birthday.
Yeah, easily.
It just amazes me. So
easily.
I've been around guns my whole life, but I think that there should be stronger gun laws, and I don't think there should be guns on the street.
Miss Selena?
I'm gonna come right out and say, although I respect, everyone's amendments, everyone's rights. To me, it's obvious, and I don't understand the need for more guns. I don't understand the need to celebrate guns. I don't understand gun rallies. I'm really against it, because at the end of the day, we're not in the wild, wild west. It's not like we're having to worry about coyotes coming into our houses or bears. So it's not like you're using them to. And as far as criminals, we've got so much technology to keep us boarded in that there are ways to get beyond having an assault weapon. Mm-hmm. So explain to me the logic, make it make sense. Why, other than it making you feel like you have the upper hand, why people feel the need to have not just one gun, but major artillery and several of these weapons in their house. I could see if it was like a thing of, because I was raised old school. Like, this may sound kind of weird to some, but when you have the Bible in your household, my grandmother taught us there really isn't a need for a gun. Now, I don't necessarily believe that all the way, but I think that it's overkill. That's basically how I feel. I'm sort of emotional about this, but I there's a lot of things I want to say, but I'm not sure if I want to get that colorful with my metaphors just yet. So
and I agree with you, Lena. I mean, and I didn't mean to, speak again, E. It's just that,
go ahead.
I want someone to tell me what. Really, I want to know how this young man went into somewhere, bought this, assault rifle, and no one said, huh?
He bought two of them.
See, that's what I'm saying. And no one said, what are you going to do with this? There's no need. I mean, even when you go deer hunting, if you do that, you basically blow up the deer. And the whole purpose of my dad going deer hunting is to have that meat. And I'm being serious. We literally eat the meat. So that's my question, is where was someone that said, hey, dude, you're just turned 18. Why do you need this? Where are you going to go shoot? Where are you going to go kill?
Can I interject real quick? Somebody posted in our group chat earlier today a little 2-minute video of a 13-year-old kid that tried to go buy some alcohol. He was turned away. He tried to buy some cigarettes. He was turned away. Mm-hmm. He tried to buy lottery tickets. He was turned away. He even tried to buy some pornographic magazines. Was turned away. Mm-hmm. However,
don't say that.
He's 13, right? He walked into a gun show and walked out with a rifle.
Dude, are you serious?
He walked out with a rifle and with ammunition.
Yep.
No.
And so, and to echo your outrage, AR-15s aren't cheap, y'all. They're not. This is not a cheap gun. This is not like a little, handheld 22 that you might get on the street or whatever. No. This is what the police use. This is what the Army uses. This is what the armed forces use. And we're talking about a $1,500 gun.
Yeah.
And that's the cheap one.
13?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this young man walked out, with a shotgun, and he was 13 years old.
Oh my God.
I'm surprised and yet not surprised, if I can be honest.
Right.
I mean,
so
I'm becoming desensitized. It's like there are equally outrageous things happening almost every other day in this country. And on one hand, I'm a proud citizen of the United States. But on the other hand, the Band-Aid is ripped off, and it's like, wow, are we this bad? Are we?
And see, Lena, and I'm at that point. I'm now at that point where you are now, but it took me during the press conference to see what I saw, that I was just like, enough's enough.
Yeah.
I have, like I said, I have an 8-year-old grandson, and I guess because for me now, everything's becoming clear, and I'm in disbelief. I am, that how this could actually happen. And it's just sad. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to move us on to the second topic.
Thank you.
Police unions have backed most, if not all, of the lax gun laws that have passed, but are quick to say they are afraid for their lives when confronting unarmed Black people. New evidence has shown that law enforcement wait in excess of 1 hour before entering the school this week, mostly due to the fact that they said they may have gotten shot. But these are the same type of weapons that their unions back. So my question is, are police unions partially responsible for the mass shootings that happen in this country?
I think so.
And who was that answering?
I do.
Go for it, Lena. Yeah.
Again, I'm trying to be impeccable with my speech and careful with my words, because the police are here to protect us. But I do not understand the waiting outside. When I heard that, I was horrified. And this is after 4 or 5 years of craziness and the next level of Jumanji and, yet another horror that they didn't storm in. These are children. I don't get the hesitation. People said random responses I saw on social media were folks putting it on race. And I was like, no, I think it just came down to just plain cowardice. I really do. No, I don't. That's just final word on it.
Gotcha. D-Ray?
So in a nutshell, yes, I do blame the police unions. There's this expectation of, if I am hired for a job, I should be protected from the job that I'm actually hired from. To put that logic to the test, that would almost be like me going to be hired as a surgeon, but I don't like the sight of blood. Yeah. To me, that's almost like I'm a farmer, but I don't like dirt. And that's not saying that one should be willing or raring to go, because that's another set of problems. But there should be an inherent understanding that this job is dangerous. That's what you're signing up for. Yeah. Right. And here's my problem. Here's my problem with the whole fear that we're getting shot. That is the SWAT team.
Yeah.
That was waiting outside because they were afraid to get shot. They got on vests. And guess what? Guess what they have in their hands, y'all? They all got AR-15s.
Yeah.
An operative word being team.
Right?
Yeah. Not one person, a team.
Right. They all got AR-15s. They all got on vests. They all probably got other toys. And you're trying to tell me that they were afraid to get hurt. They were afraid to get shot. I don't buy it. I don't like it. And I'm about to let a couple of explicatives fly myself, because that was effed up.
Yeah.
And there was 19 of them. You know what I tell myself? A kid, one for each kid.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah, one for each kid. And they were outside in that hallway and they heard the shots. Not only did they hear the shots, but they also had the 911 from the little girl that kept saying, please, please. I would have just run in there no matter what.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I need to stop. Okay, I'm gonna calm down. I'm sorry, E.
No.
I feel you, Bonnie. I feel you.
Well, and you know who? I mean, I'm gonna stop.
We kind of got into this, you and I, on social media earlier, so we've been talking about this.
Yeah. It just chaps my hide.
Go ahead, Tori.
Well, I'm sorry. What was the question? What was the question?
Do you think?
About
police unions are like responsible or partially responsible for these, since they are not voicing the opposition to all of these lax gun laws. They're okay with like putting all these guns on the streets, or like making it so easy for people to get guns, even though they always claiming that they are scared for their life when they shoot someone. Kind of doesn't make any sense to me. I'm just saying, you can't really have.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. You know, I think in a lot of situations there is fear. You know, and just because these people are quote unquote trained to deal with these types of situations, I think they're still susceptible to fear, and I think they're still susceptible to shock. You know, so I don't know. I think there's a lot of shared responsibility across the board. I can't, you know, I don't feel comfortable saying that that they hold most of the responsibility, because this has been a long-standing problem. I mean, I don't even know when Columbine was. That had to be more than 20 years ago when Columbine happened. And you know, I don't see what has been done since then, you know.
Nothing.
So I think there's a lot of responsibility to be shared with these things that are happening. I mean, with this, I do think that they should be more trained to deal with these, you know, with these types of situations. However, I mean, my understanding, Uvalde is a pretty small town.
It's very small.
You know, and you know, when you think about small town mentality, I mean, you know, probably a lot of these people don't even lock their doors at night.
Mm-hmm.
But
so,
not to really cut you off, but
yeah,
40% of that town's budget belongs to their police force. And if 40% of your entire budget belongs to the police force, and the police force is sitting outside not doing the one thing they're supposed to do, which is to protect and serve, that's a problem. Plus, one of the most hypocritical things ever is if you are voting politicians in that are you know, making sure that the laws are that it's easier access to get guns, and then you go back and have a gun buyback program because there's too many guns on the street. There's something wrong with that. You're either scared of the freaking guns, or you're scared of the certain people that are getting the guns. Okay.
I'm ready to get real.
Yeah, go ahead, Lena. You go ahead.
So here's my thing, and I think D-Ray, this might be you're about to say a similar thing. Here's my issue, and I'm gonna keep it real. Keep that same energy of being hesitant when there is a person of color and they are innocent to proven guilty, but they are the suspect, and you run in guns blazing and kill that person. Where is the hesitation then? That's my thing. That is why that's one police department. So it'd be unfair to put them all under one collective blanket, as if, you know, the same attitude suits all police departments all throughout the world. I know that. However, collectively speaking, that is the issue that I see with the police, that when it comes to people of color, you know, we were concerned that they were a danger to other people, other citizens. They were a danger to us, so we had to take precaution and shoot and ask questions later. But in this situation, you hesitate. It's the hypocrisy of it that drives me crazy. Like, keep that same energy going.
Yeah.
What I don't understand, I haven't researched it specifically, but what were they waiting for? What
they were waiting because they were afraid to get shot.
Yep.
what they're saying, that was actually what I heard also, but now they're blaming it on the chief of the school district police, that he's the one that said to wait until they have more backup. But when I heard that they had 19, what more backup do you need?
Yeah.
For one guy.
Yeah.
And
The girl that called in told them exactly what room he was in.
Yeah.
And they were outside and they could, okay, I need to just stop.
Okay, Bonnie, trust me, I feel your pain.
I just think about
you know what, and we probably should have had like a pool to see which one of us is gonna cuss first. I'm right there. I'm right there.
Holding it in.
Well, and then I keep thinking it's just us five. Then I keep thinking, oh no, it's live, so I better stop. You know.
At this point, I don't give a damn who's watching.
Yeah,
I'm first.
I'm officially first. Here's my position,
right?
And I want to circle back to something that therapist Tori said. And first of all, I appreciate her position because her being a therapist, she's doing the job that I expect her to do.
Yeah.
There's empathy, there's understanding. She wants to get the picture. I expect her to do that. Well, you know what? I expect police to do their damn job too. Mm-hmm. Okay? I expect them to do the job, especially. Let's. It shouldn't be too much of a shock to you guys that I did debate in high school. So when I started to go and I started to talk my shit, I bring facts. So Columbine occurred April of 1999. Since April of 1999, 331,000 students have died in school shootings in America.
That's almost 500,000.
300,000.
Wow.
Since 1999, 331,000 students have died in the United States with gun violence in schools. Now, at the same time, look at the NRA spending. In 2020, the NRA spent $40 million just in court fees. All right, 40 million just to go to court. That's not even talking about the lobbyists. That's not even talking about the political campaigns and the political contributions or where they're getting the money from. All of this is going around, and I'm also called bullshit on something else. Now I don't care. I'm gonna call bullshit.
Ford County.
There you go, Lena.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna call bullshit. Here's the thing. I know cops, right? I know police officers. I know them personally. You can't walk up to a cop and say, "I think you're a coward."
No.
You get what I mean?
Good luck with that.
You can't walk up to a coward and you can't walk up to a police officer and ask them, are they afraid? You can't do that because they have this aura about them that they are the law. They are justice. They are the representation of our legal system, right? So the idea that they held these people back while these kids were in there dying, right? And what they were saying on CNN is that when it was all over, the parents couldn't even identify the kids.
Yeah.
They had to use DNA.
Yeah.
Why?
Because we don't need to know, like you just said, what an AR-15 does to a deer.
Oh my God.
That's what it does to a kid.
So I didn't.
He had two of them. He had two AR-15s and he had 400 rounds of ammunition.
Yeah.
And they locked him in a room with kids. And they refused to come in. So
yeah. And the one other story that came out today that sickened the hell out of me was when the police officer asked the little girl that if you needed some help to shout where you are, and the gunman heard her and went over and shot her and someone else because the cop asked, do you need, well, hell yeah, they need help. They're in a freaking, war zone. They're getting shot. Yeah, they need help. But you gave the shooter exactly where you were because you told a 9-year-old to yell out if you needed help. And they went over there and shot her and the person that was next to her. That cop there I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. His ass needs to go right now.
Oh, they all need to go.
Yeah.
I wanted to say that, but I was going to say it out loud.
Yeah, they need their asses kicked.
Oh,
and
the
they need to be
19
fired.
I thought you were going to say,
that right there is pathetic. He should have known that these kids were hiding, and to vocalize where they were was just giving it to the damn, shooter where they were. Just dumb. That just boils my blood. Period. All right, we're gonna move on here to the next topic. Okay, we're gonna welcome DJ Gooch, who is awfully comfortable.
Leave it to Gooch to come in here like he posing in Playgirl magazine.
Oh, I love it.
Maybe for you to notice.
That was good.
Right.
Good.
So the NRA would not be as powerful as they are without the backing of politicians they pay off. The politicians would not be as powerful without the citizens backing them. So my question is, if the citizens are not getting anything from the NRA, no money, no anything, as the politicians are they being pawns in their own demise and the demise of our children? And I'm asking this because there are still citizens that are out there that are 100% saying, oh, we have to have this. We have to have all of our guns. No one is going to come take our guns. And they are basically, saying this off of the backs of politicians that are getting hundreds of thousands of dollars from the NRA to say the same thing. But the people aren't getting any of it. I don't understand how are you or someone comfortable with making money for other people? They're making billions of dollars. You're getting nothing but death. But they're getting billions of dollars and millions of dollars and thousands of dollars, and you're getting nothing but a gun that you got to buy from them. So I want to know, are the citizens being pawns in their own demise and the killing of our children? And since Goose is just now hopped in and extremely comfortable, he should have a very good thought on this. So, Goose, you go first, bro.
Yes, they are being pawns, and they're mind tricking themselves and trying to get an outdated Second Amendment to do something that we know you had a right to bear arms, but again, what y'all doing? What some people are doing? I should say, what some people are doing. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. They mind tricking themselves. To answer your question.
Yeah.
Bonnie, I'm gonna let somebody else go.
Bonnie, what are your thoughts?
Oh, I think they are. I mean, absolutely. I mean, I think that the citizens don't even realize the impact. But
yeah,
I think us too as citizens, until, like I've said the past couple of days, enough is enough. For me, enough is enough. So the only way that I can change things is by going to the voting polls and voting these guys out. Mm-hmm. But with that being said, I know my dad doesn't do anything with the NRA or anything like that. But yeah, I think that, I'm not a fan of the NRA. So I'm not a fan of it at all.
Same here.
Yeah, I'm just not. I think it's sad. I think they use people, and the people don't even realize that they're being used, and they're just getting more money, and it's just awful to me.
Yeah.
I don't even know why
I want to come on the tail end of that, if I can.
Go ahead, Lena.
It's short and sweet and succinct. They are selling fear. It's us. It's the us against them theory. If you don't hurry and stock up on these guns, and I'm trying really hard not to do something offensive and imitate an accent because that wouldn't be fair, but in my mind, it's what I'm thinking. But I think that if you look at the NRA, it probably would look more diverse than a lot of us would realize. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. it's not. I think it will look a lot like what you expect, but I think if you saw some of the NRA members, it's not unlike maybe the Republican Party, a little bit of everything. That being said, I really do think that it's a thing of get them before they get you. So, it's about stocking up on as much as you can out of fear. And, there's something else I would suggest, but I think I'll leave that to therapist Tori.
Yeah.
Because I was going to take a swing at it. I was like, that's above my pay grade. I'm a cartoonist, not a therapist.
Your thoughts, Tori?
Well, I think I'm just hoping, at some point that we actually have conversations that's going to bring a resolution, because, I think, not that I don't think it's valuable, for us to vent and, and talk about the hurt and the pain and the causes of all these things that are happening. But I want a resolution. I mean, I want to resolve. I want a time where we don't have to think about this anymore. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm a 70s baby. I didn't, I never went to school worried about whether somebody was going to get shot or whether some tragic event was going to happen. I mean, it was unheard of, so I don't know what it's going to take. But that's what I'm hoping for. And I know, like somebody mentioned the term ego. I mean, I think ego is important, and it's like how much of our ego fuels these conversations. Like it's not enough to talk about, like I think it's a great exercise, and I'm hoping at some point these kids, the survivors of this tragedy in Uvalde, I'm hoping at some point that they can do some real therapy, because the survivors are going to be real screwed up. The parents and the surviving children of this event, I can't imagine the ramifications of what just happened. So, I don't know how many more of these situations have to happen before something is done. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I mean, I know it's a lot to process, and there's so many different aspects of all this to look at. I don't know how we're gonna get there, but I'm hoping that we can get there. And that ego is not a part of the resolution, because I don't think it's gonna fix anything.
Yeah. D-Ray, are these citizens being played like pawns, man?
Absolutely. Because what fuels fear is ignorance. Mm-hmm. And I grew up with grandparents that always told me that ignorance can be fixed if you want it to be fixed. Mm-hmm. So let me read a few things. A well-regulated militia,
that's what you need,
being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Yep.
That is the Second Amendment.
Yep.
The spirit of the Second Amendment was the right of people to bear arms against another country like the British coming in to attack America. Mm-hmm. Right? To our newly independent country. And I say our in quotation marks. That's a whole nother separate conversation. Right? So also, You talk about, you're talking about ignorance and fear. Let's see some hard numbers. The NRA has given Donald Trump $30.3 million.
Mm-hmm.
You see Richard Burr from my great state of North Carolina, $6.3 million. Marco Rubio in Florida, $3.2 million. And so on and so on and so on.
Yeah.
Now, I just got finished saying that the NRA just spent $40 million just in court. And now you're just seeing another $40 million on just the top politicians that they contribute to their campaigns.
Mm-hmm.
So ignorance has a price, right? Ignorance has a big price tag. And one of these days, some of these people are going to start really, really paying for it. And I already done cussed at my son.
You mean like a chicken's coming home to roost kind of way?
Oh, absolutely. And so I'm gonna try to watch my language, y'all. But I remember, because I'm a 70s baby too.
Yeah.
I remember when crack hit our neighborhoods. I remember when our neighborhoods became suddenly unsafe, right? And it wasn't that big of a problem. It wasn't that drugs in America wasn't that big of a problem until suburban kids started overdosing.
Mm-hmm.
Until affluent kids started having drug problems. Until affluent kids started getting hooked on stuff, and you had to have some kind of drug on hand to zap them back to life. Right now, it's a war on drugs. So, is it going to take some affluent high school being shot up before someone says, maybe we ought to do something about this?
It's quite possible.
That's been
going back to the Second Amendment. It's a tried and true thing for them to change what something means. Okay. The Second Amendment never meant that anyone is able to, carry whatever kind of gun that they want or blah, blah, blah. D-Ray just read it was about a well-armed militia, which I don't believe that anyone in here is a part of a militia. They changed that narrative, quite frankly, the same way that they changed the whole Colin Kaepernick narrative, overnight. They came out and said it was something else, even though he explicitly said it was something, and we heard that it was something. But because, someone said no, he meant something else, people jumped on that. Even though they literally heard him saying that it had nothing to do with the armed forces or whatever, they changed the narrative. That's how easy it is for this country, for people to actually, listen to what they want to hear. They hear what they want to hear because that's closer to what they can believe. And the whole Second Amendment argument never meant that anyone can carry any gun. So every time that a politician gets on TV and say, "Oh, it was my Second Amendment right," no, it's not. You're not reading the Constitution. You're interpreting it because your followers want you to interpret it that way. So you're interpreting it the way they want it to be done. And I'm going to say one more thing before I go to the next topic about how gullible we are. If you guys or anyone on this panel or anyone that is listening believe for one time that Donald Trump gave a flying fuck about Confederate statues, y'all are dumb. Because he did not care about them, but his voters cared about them, and he's catering to what the hell y'all wanted. He didn't care about them. He can give a free. He ain't from the South. He don't care, but they believed it. So he jumped on that because he knew that them dumb folks, and I'm sorry, was going to sit there and say, "Oh yeah, he's for us." No, he's not. And that's just how gullible we are in this country.
Yeah.
Well, that's neither here nor there. And I'm going to move on to the next question because I've already exceeded my curse limit for right now. Okay.
At my count, you had the one.
Real quick though, real quick. I just, piggyback off of, Tori and D-Ray, because I'm a 70s, well, really, 68 on. But,
Yeah.
Do y'all remember when going to church and school was the safest place to be? Church and school.
Right.
You just
Right.
knew,
Yeah,
you just
absolutely.
knew that
And
nothing
the
was going
praying
to
in
happen.
school.
Yeah, church and school. And of course, home, but church and school. That you felt safe there, no matter what.
Sanctuary.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
can't even have that.
Can't even have it.
So,
Okay. Next question. One of the solutions given for school shootings are to arm teachers in the classroom.
No.
I'm going to get the panel's thoughts on this, but I really want to hear from any teachers we may have that are viewing or listening to this roundtable on this matter. We have one teacher that is on the panel right now, and we also have two. Oh, all right. And we also have a response from Richard here that stated, yeah, teachers died trying to shield these children. If one had a gun, in my opinion, better chance to stop that monster. So I am going to start with DJ Gooch first, just to see what are you thinking about you being armed in a classroom?
No way, Jose.
yeah.
No way. We're not trained to be armed security. And that's just a disaster waiting to happen.
I agree.
That's fighting fire with fire is not the answer. That's what the NRA, in my opinion, wants you to do. Buy more guns.
Yeah.
So you gotta kill the root of it. And that's just a band-aid, a bad band-aid on top of that for a single gunman to come up, have all teachers buy more guns untrained. No way.
Yeah. Lena?
I'll add to this. Not going to throw any of my colleagues under the bus. And let me be clear, I am a part-time art teacher, but I've been doing so for 25 years. Working with mostly Title I schools. And I've got to tell you, I've worked with some wonderful people, but I've also worked with some folks that, although they know their stuff, they know their craft, they know instruction, they have prejudices just like everybody else that they bring into the classroom. You do not want that person to make a snap judgment. We need only look to recent news where there have been continuous bad teaching decisions where educators thought it was a good idea to reenact slavery or to reenact the Holocaust. And then it's pushed. Say it again.
Blackface.
I can't keep up with them. But I mean, and this has been an ongoing thing in the 21st century now. In the 21st century, those are not the people you want armed. I'll leave it at that. Because they are skilled, or we are skilled at what we do. I teach art. Didn't sign up for anything else. And I can't imagine anybody would really want to. We want safety, not to take it into our own hands. That's my thought.
D-Ray?
So that is a bad idea.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just start there. It's a bad idea. The National Education Association, the NEA, says that they took a poll in 2022 that 55% of the teachers in the teachers union are considering quitting the profession. So you got half of the teachers that are in the teachers union that have thought about it at one point or another to quit, right? They're saying they're exhausted, they're exasperated, they have low pay, they have no help, they have a lot of
and then I don't mean to interrupt D-Ray, but my sister was a teacher for years and years, and when she first came out of college, she would ask me to go help her with her classroom, and I'm like, do what? I didn't realize the teachers have to pay. What you see in their classrooms, the teachers buy from their own money and they don't get reimbursed for it.
Right.
I told her I would have been nicer to my teachers than if I would have known that. I mean, That's a shame.
Right. And so,
Yeah.
so you have low pay, you have high expectations,
Yeah.
sometimes unreasonable expectations. And there's no wonder that teacher suicide rates have been on the increase for the past 20 years. And these are the people you want to give guns to, let alone the discrimination, let alone the inherent prejudice that some people may have. These are the people you want to give guns to?
Any more than you'd want to give guns to nurses.
Facts.
You know, I mean, I'm just saying, like, I'm not taking up for educators. I'm just saying that, like you were saying earlier, D-Ray, about, you made a comment about police officers being trained to do their job. That's what they signed up for. You wouldn't ask them to turn around and teach students. You shouldn't ask educators to turn around and arm themselves. If police officers are scared to barge in, why do you think the science teacher down the hall is ready to do it? I mean, it's a crazy notion.
I mean, for real.
Yeah.
My fear would also be, what if a student gets it?
Yeah.
Finds it, gets it, but you don't know what they would do with it. I don't know.
You know
They
about
grab
that,
cell
right,
phones.
Bruce?
Yeah.
Yep. Goose knows about that. Okay, therapist story. Before you leave, you want to give your final thought on that one, on that question?
Say it one more time. I'm sorry.
Basically, do you think that like teachers should be armed?
Oh, no. I mean, I'm an instructor. I'm a college instructor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in the grade schools, but I can't imagine having to carry a firearm into the classroom because of fear that, something like that might happen. I mean, I think that takes the focus off of instruction, and creativity. I don't think it's a good idea. I mean, I think that only creates more problems than solves any problems. So, no, I definitely don't support that.
Well, therapist Tori, we want to thank you for being a part of the panel. We look forward to seeing your next podcast next Friday, Living the Abundant Life, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. So you have yourself a great weekend, okay?
And I just want to say,
all
2
right,
hours.
y'all too.
Wow.
Yeah, y'all have a great weekend. It was great meeting everybody, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
All righty.
Nice Tori.
All right. Bye-bye. You too.
Okay, so my opinion on this topic is basically the same as everyone else's. I do not see how people would think that having a teacher with a gun in a panic-driven situation is going to make anything easier. One, you're not trained. 2, you're not paid to do it. 3, if you're scared, you're scared. You're going to shoot more than just this person that is trying to walk through the door. More than likely, you're going to hit a kid. You're going to shoot yourself. You're going to do something else because you're not trained to do this. People that are saying that it takes a gun to like counteract a gun are not thinking. Okay, no one wants to take another life. No one wants to sit there and say, "Oh my God, even though this guy was shooting me, I shot him in the head, and now I have to actually see that happening in my mind every single day." They don't understand the trauma that it will cause on someone to shoot and kill another person. And they just assume that a teacher, because they have a gun, is going to walk in there and be, Galahad or somebody and just start sniping people like they're wide earth. It's not going to happen. Okay, I understand your thought, Richard, but at that time, the only thing that like those teachers should have been concerned with is trying to make sure that the kids and themselves were out of harm. It was up to the paid law enforcement, security guards, anything that are trained to do this. That's what they're there for. Teachers are not there to be security guards. Teachers can't be security guards. That's not what they are supposed to do. Okay.
And can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
To the people that say, "Oh, a teacher having a gun could have prevented this or could have prevented that." Well, guess what? It wouldn't have prevented that boy from shooting his grandmama in the face before he left.
Right.
It wouldn't happen.
So you know what I'm saying? So having a gun at the school wouldn't have saved that lady from her mentally ill grandson.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm gonna go ahead and take this a step further. I don't believe that police officers should have to help or try to counsel mentally ill people.
No,
that's not their job.
Counselor. They need to have grief counselors and counselors on staff, because everyone that they encounter is not intentionally trying to do anything.
Exactly.
You know, everyone is not, and they have to have counselors on duty that are trained to handle people and talk them down and you know, help them work through whatever issues they may be going through. Okay.
Facts.
And that just has to happen. Okay, we're gonna move on to our next topic. We spent a lot of time on that one, like I knew we would, but this one here is also kind of a hot button. Are our political leaders letting us down?
Yeah.
Are we all suffering from PTSD when it comes to these type of shootings? So first, are they letting us down, and are we suffering from PTSD? And I'm gonna go first with Lena.
Yes, to both. We are suffering, and there are levels to it, obviously. And it all depends on an individual's support team as well as your personal coping mechanisms. As far as the politicians are concerned, I also hail from the great state of North Carolina. Richard Burr belongs to us. I didn't vote for him. But let's see. How can I put it? I don't think that the onus goes completely to the politicians, though. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The music got really loud for a second. There's not, I mean, I could talk a lot about my disdain for certain politicians, but when I thought about this show, what I didn't want to do was turn this into a bitch session about Republicans or Democrats. And in my case, I'm a Democrat. And I didn't want to turn it into that. And it's like, oh, Republicans are bad. I think they let us down, but I also think that it's a two-way street, because they're pandering to the public that is okay with whatever solution they've come up with. And I wish Therapist Tori were here for this part, because the thing I've been wanting to say that I've been holding on to this whole time is that more than guns, more than gun control, I think the real key is mandatory therapy in schools and on jobs. Not waiting for people to sign up, but I think there needs to be routine checkups, like just something that's a part of our life, like the way we've been wearing masks. That is my thought. I would like to know her feelings on that if she were here, because I'm not a therapist, but to me, it comes down to the ignorance and I don't know if I want to say fear, but I think underestimating just how important therapy is. Because whether you've got a gun, But if you're mentally unstable, that's the issue here. There, I'm done.
Well, in this particular instance, though, there was no, proof that the guy was like mentally ill or either had a mentally ill, like problem. That's
something on social media that kind of alerted people that.
Yeah, he said what he was going to do.
Yeah, he said he was being bullied. That's what he said, that he was going to, and I think he wasn't going to graduate or something, and he was going to
drop out of school. Yeah,
yeah,
he had already dropped out.
Yeah,
but that's basically what I'm getting at. There's nothing on record because we need it. You know what I mean? That's what I'm basically saying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That because there wasn't record of him having some type of mental instability, this is what ensued. That's what I'm suggesting. That perhaps if there had been some type of program where children regularly go to therapy sessions, like we go to the humanities, where you go to the library, where you go to phys ed.
I would go.
If there's a mandatory mental check-in, that they do in the school systems nationwide. And I know that's revolutionary, but I'm saying you have to think revolutionary ideas or solutions or suggestions for solutions to deal with the world that is going through crisis after crisis after crisis. I don't know what else to do, because they're not going to give up their guns. They will always find a way to get them. So my thing is, maybe if we deal with trauma, that would help some.
What's your thought, Gooch?
I'm gonna have to hear the question one more time, sir.
Okay, let me see. Are our political leaders letting us down, and are all of us, meaning the whole country, suffering from PTSD because of all of the violence that has been in this country forever, basically?
I'm gonna say yes to the PTSD. We're all suffering from it. It's just happening too much and too often, and it's getting to be when it's gonna happen again, not if it's ever gonna happen again. It's just a matter of when. Are the politicians letting us down? I'm gonna say yes, and I'm we're from Texas, and our politicians, to me, that were voted in, are doing exactly what I expect them to do.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, they've already shown their colors. I know what they're going to do, so I expect this out of them. And I had high expectation they were going to actually do the morally right thing. So, overall, to answer the question, yes, they're letting us down.
Yeah. Bonnie?
Well, and I don't know if you're going to bring up this or not, so I'm going to say it a little bit earlier if you are. Yes, I do think the politicians are letting us down, and absolutely, I think we all have some sense of PTSD from all of this, especially because they were children, but it was just like, was it Wednesday? I don't even know if it was, I think it was Wednesday when Beto and kind of like, I'm going to piggyback off with Lena, I don't want to get into the politics of it or, Democrats or Republicans, because right now we all need to be just united. We don't need to be about who's wrong, who's right. Let's just fix the problem. But to me, what I heard from that stage when Beto walked into that conference and he asked a simple, honest question. What are you going to do about these killings? And the language that I heard from that stage, SOB, every word, I was embarrassed for my state. And, I love Texas. And like you, I know what I'm going to get. I totally understand that. But when there is a crisis and you're calling someone an SOB for him asking it, I would ask the same question. What are you going to do? How are you going to fix this? How are you going to take the guns off the street? And for them to cuss him out, just let him leave. Just ask him to leave. But the words coming out of their mouth, and those are our leaders of this state. No, I'm embarrassed. And they're grown men.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed. So yeah, I think they're at fault 100%, Elliot. Oh, I get so angry about that because I can't believe the words that were coming out of their mouth.
Yeah, like he actually did.
All of them. Ted Cruz.
Like him. He like Beto O'Rourke actually said something that was, about someone's parents or something. He just asked them, "What are y'all going to do about it? Because we're sick and tired of like seeing it."
And he never cussed. He never cussed. He was never rude, but he did get up. He did stand up. The problem was they didn't like what he was asking.
They answered.
Yeah, nothing.
They answered the question.
Yeah, they ain't
he fled.
They're not gonna.
And it was an honest question. It was an honest question. He didn't blame anybody up there on that stage. He just asked, "What are you going to do about this?" That's all he asked. You know what someone told me? Well, the devil was really that. He was, the devil was really there when he did that. You know what I told him? I guess the devil was on the stage too, huh?
Yeah. Because like I said, people see what they want to see, and they are so crazy about those leaders that they.
Yes.
Why is it always something that has to be politicized?
Exactly.
When they bring up the Second Amendment, that's politicizing it. But
exactly,
that's neither here nor there. Okay. But if he's asking you guys, what are you going to do about it? Oh, that's not the time for and they always say that. Now is not the time. Well, when the hell is the time?
It's never the time because it's
an honest question. So many times. When is the time? I don't
when I heard that, I was just like, did someone just say SOB? Did someone just call him the blank? Did someone just? That auditorium was packed.
Yeah.
Embarrassing. And then today to find out that there were 19 officers out in the hallway. Even more embarrassing. Okay, I need to calm down. I'm sorry.
Have you responded to this one yet?
No. So to the first part of it, I'm gonna break it up. The PTSD part, yes, we are all suffering from PTSD. I'll give you an example. We've all established that we're all in the same generation, that we're all 70s babies, right? Mm-hmm. So we all grew up on Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner, right? We all grew up on Elmer Fudd chasing Bugs Bunny, right?
Yeah.
To my knowledge, that didn't inspire any of us to go out and buy some acne products and blow ourselves up. Right. That didn't inspire any of us to go out and get shotguns and whatever the case may be, because we knew the difference, right? Now, here we are. Our children can actually see somebody get shot and killed.
That's sad.
Right? That's not even an acne situation anymore. We can actually see someone get shot and killed. So yeah, definitely we're suffering from PTSD. Now, to the question of, are politicians letting us down? No, they're not letting us down. You know why? Because we're getting exactly what we deserve. If you're not organizing, and getting out there and vote, to vote, if you're not educating yourself on the beliefs of these politicians and the beliefs of the people who fund them, you're getting exactly what you deserve. And I remember when George Floyd. I'll go back a step further. I remember when Rodney King got beat in the early 90s, and the police officers were acquitted, and someone said that the system was broken, and another person responded, nope, the system is working exactly the way it was designed.
Yeah.
This system is working exactly the way it was designed.
Wow.
Okay. So are they letting us down? No, because we're asking for it. Thrive.
Yeah. Thanks, D-Ray. Yeah.
Okay.
Good point, D-Ray. Thank you. Good point.
All right.
I won't be so mad then.
No, be mad, Bonnie. Be real.
I'm mad.
Yeah.
For some crazy reason, I don't know. I mean, they all have affected me. They all have. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. But this, for some reason,
because they were so young and it was so
innocent. You know,
No, I mean, this right here could have easily been prevented.
Yeah.
And when someone says, "Oh, if he had a knife, he could have done the same thing," I'm gonna say the same thing Chris Rock just said in a joke. Okay, if you see someone with a knife stab one damn person, and you sit there like, "Oh, he just stabbed him. Oh, he stabbed another one. Oh, he's getting closer. Oh, he stabbed me." Your ass deserved to die.
Yeah.
The teachers could have gotten them out. If you stabbing somebody, you can get out. You can't kill that many people, with a knife. Okay.
Exactly.
With the AR-15 assault rifle, pretty damn easy to do. Okay. All right. You're gonna move on along. As a parent, and we are all parents, we either got kids or we got grandkids or whatever. How has this shooting changed you? What are you going to do differently now? And I'm gonna start with D-Ray.
Right, D-Ray?
I have a 7-year-old. Let me tell you about my 7-year-old. I have a 7-year-old little girl that the entire church where we attend, they call her best friend. That's her nickname. She's the diplomat. She's the one that if there's a new person that comes into church, she's the first one to go and say, "Hi, my name is, how are you?" If there's a kid there, she's the one, you know what I mean? She's the one, right? The thought of someone coming into school in her classroom to do her harm drives me literally nuts, right? And to the point of that it was also reported that there was a group of fathers that were also out in front of the school.
Oh, I know.
And the father said, "We don't mind if the cops are scared, let them whatever." The father said, "We don't mind. Let us in there to take care of our kids, to rescue our kids." And the fathers were told, "No, you can't go in there." This one hits different. This one hits different because we're just coming off of mass shooting of a grocery store.
Yep.
I mean, like literally, like a few days ago. Kids.
Yeah.
These are innocent kids, and from what we're being told, there was time to save some of those kids. As a father, right? As a father, I now have to have a conversation with my kids like, okay, if you see this happen, this is what I want you to do. This is what you're going to have to do. Right? Yeah. Until mommy and daddy or somebody can come in and save you, we got to have this conversation now. How do I tell my diplomat that somebody may come in and try to?
Yeah, I know. All right, Bonnie. I know you have to leave soon, so I'm gonna let you answer this question also.
Well, I know you know how I feel.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm with D-Ray. And this does hit different. It even hit different from when my daughter was in school. She's almost going to be 30. I didn't feel the same. I guess I don't know if it's because my grandson is 8, about to be 9. Like D-Ray, I don't even want to think about a phone call. When I first heard about it, I immediately reached out to my daughter and I said, "Please hug my Bubba for me." I don't know how those fathers, I would have gotten arrested.
Yeah.
You would have taken me off, and I'm not saying they didn't. I'm not saying that, but you would have taken me off, kicking and screaming, and the people that know me know I would have done that. It's awful. And like D-Ray, my Bubba has the sweetest soul spirit. And now, unfortunately, that talk has happened of what he needs to do. And I think that's awful. Just plain awful. You know, and yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Just awful.
What
It's a
about you, DJ
conversation
Group?
I think any parent should have with any of their children that goes from K through senior year in high school. I don't think anyone should have that conversation, and it's sad that you have to.
Yeah.
So,
what about you, Gooch? I know you have some young grandkids that are in school now. How has this changed you? Plus, with you being in the classroom every day, how's this changed you, man? What are you going to do differently or say differently to them?
It definitely makes you more alert to things happening around the campus. I don't have the words yet to know what to say to my grandkids. I just don't have the words. I can only hope that and pray that the school that they're in has a good security where only people that need to be in the school come through a certain door,
right?
Not through a back door, but those it's back doors everywhere. But hopefully they're will be more secure now. They'll make it more secure where these type of things don't happen. I know it'll be a lot of inconvenience for the teachers and staff, but this type of thing is what needs to happen to keep the building safe.
Yeah,
it's gonna have to be a lot of inconvenience at first until it's the norm. But this is what we got to do to keep the building safe. And it's if I can make a suggestion, I know that at some schools they actually have to have a badge to get in. Yep. Not saying that the shooter can't get a badge, but at least make it a little more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Just not just a side door to get in. But the words to say, I can only pray that they go through the security. I know that we go through twice a year of shooter or shooters insight, what to do, what not to say, what to say, where to crawl, where to go, where the exit ramp is, and things like that. So we know what to do, and hopefully they'll be better at that.
Yeah. Okay. Before I respond, I want to say and give thanks for Bonnie for showing up, for like coming in, giving us your insight, your opinion. You were very, very passionate about everything that we talk about, and as we all should be. You know, I mean, this was crazy and could have more than likely been prevented. So I want to thank you.
Thank you for allowing me to be part of this awesome panel. You know, I really do appreciate it, and I hope we can do this again. Love each one of y'all. D-Ray, was good to see you. Gucci was fine. Good to meet you. Lena and Lena, if you're listening, it was really, really good to meet you. E, love you, man. Love you, Troy. Talk to y'all later.
All right, take it easy. So if y'all don't know, I also have a 12 and a 14-year-old. Okay, I can only get into their school by like having to be buzzed in. So call, get the intercom, they can see me. I'll let them know what I'm coming there for, and they let me in. When I come in, there's a security guard that is right there. I still have to go through the like metal detector thing. There isn't a side door that I can get in. Kids can get out of the side doors, but you can't get into any side door or any back door. It's one way to get in, but multiple ways to get out, which is the way it should be. Okay. I know it was a small town, but these are things that, this school that the school that my kids in have had forever. You know, I mean, it's like really fundamental type things. I myself, I have no idea how to speak to my kids about it, mainly because they have grown up in an era where this has happened many, many times. Okay. And it is absolutely terrible for our for our so-called leaders to sit there and act like nothing's happened just because it's lying in their pockets. We already know the United States is the, capitalism capital of whatever. But when it comes to our kids getting gunned down when they don't have to be, that's reprehensible from anyone. Okay, just doesn't make any sense.
Can y'all hear me?
Now we can.
Y'all can?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm having a real big problem with Facebook right now. And I'm wondering if my account's been hacked or something. That other account that I started.
I don't know.
Here's the thing. Y'all are friends with me on both accounts, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And when I look up Lena Hopkins, my maiden name, there's some black lady in a church outfit. That ain't me.
Hey, Lena, we're still live though.
Huh?
Yeah.
We're still live.
We're still live, Lena.
It's no, it's not 9:00 yet.
It's all good though.
It's all good.
We'll fix it though.
We're almost done. Yeah. So we've talked about the violence and how easy it is for anyone to buy a gun. But what are just some solutions you may have to try and prevent this from happening again? Because evidently our leaders either don't know, how they say in like Boys in the Hood, either don't know, don't show, or don't care about what goes on. This is what I'm thinking is happening. Okay. So what are some practical solutions? You want to go first, Lena?
I have a question about the population of, do you pronounce it Ovale?
It is U-Valley.
U-Valley.
Yeah.
Mostly Hispanic?
You could say that probably, yeah.
Okay. You know why I'm asking? Because I'm, to kind of, you're asking me, is it a matter of don't care? And, I can't help but go to race.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons.
I can understand that.
Reiterate the question one more time.
The question is, what are some of the solutions you may have to try and prevent anything like this from happening again?
Well, I'll go back to what I said before. I think there needs to be mandatory check-ins, mental check-ins, and maybe call it something else. Make it, I don't know, give it some clever euphemism that makes people comfortable. So when they hear mental check-in, they don't think, they think my kid's crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, I have my own personal experiences about recommending that someone get therapy. And the reaction I got to it was, you're saying something's wrong. And I look at it as preventative medicine. Yeah.
I can see that. Your thoughts, D-Ray?
This is going to be an unfortunate answer, because I don't see a practical solution. Because there's too many people invested in the negative outcome. Right now, at this moment, it's too many people invested in the fear and the ignorance of people who might not even necessarily want guns, but they just don't want to be told that they can't have guns.
Yeah.
Right. So, one solution, honestly, make sure all my kids have passports.
Trying to get up out here.
You know what I mean? You want
Marcus Garvey route.
You want to. One solution? Make sure my kids know other places other than their neighborhood. Hey kids, today we're going to learn about Canada. Hey kids, today we're going to learn about we're going to learn about the continent of Africa. We're going to learn about Europe. We're going to learn about Germany. Because until there is more political movement to change this problem, it is not only is it going to continue to happen, it's going to get worse. And as they always would say, it's going to get worse before it gets better. And I am not sure I want to be in this country when it gets worse.
Yeah. This is what I can say. Okay. Makes no sense that you can regulate cars. Makes no sense that you can regulate now, finally, after God knows how many years, regulate cigarettes. You can regulate what someone drinks. You can regulate, what kind of drugs they can put in their body. You can regulate all of this, but you can't regulate the one thing that is, killing, most of our youth every year, whether it's by suicide or by homicide, is still the gun. And I heard one good solution today, which is, and I don't even know how they can enforce it. Make everyone that buys a gun have to get some sort of insurance. I guarantee you, their asses will stop.
Where did you hear that? That's a good idea.
Put some money on. If you have to have insurance to buy a car, and you get stopped, and they check it, and you don't have your insurance, you got a $250 fine. Everyone that goes out and buys any type of gun, they're gonna have to get some like insurance put on that gun, and they gotta pay that every freaking month, the same way they pay every dang thing else.
True that. Okay?
That is one solution I have. Gooch, what are your thoughts, bro?
When you posed the question, I was thinking of automatic weapons as a start. I don't, since I'm not an avid gun person, I don't see the need for automatic weapon in this city, in the city. I would regulate automatic weapons of having a psyche valve and letting it take longer than a day to get it. So that the people that do get a gun and don't have the insurance will have to take longer for that impulse kill that they want to do it. So I would impose on automatic weapons first, then you work your way down.
Yeah.
A psychic valve and make it a certain 3 months or something before they could even get it.
Yep. And you can't literally tell me that everything that you're talking about can't happen. Okay. They don't regulate gun shows. You can walk into any gun show and buy whatever because the rules for some reason are different from gun shows because the NRA wants it different for gun shows. So they can skirt all the laws and all the checks and everything else just by going through a freaking gun show. And we all know how many gun shows happen in Texas. I'm talking about, we got billboards for them down there every week just in Dallas alone. So, they want the money and it's all about the money. And yes, everyone is being a pawn in making them richer while your people are dying. Okay, y'all, this is the last question, and this is going to be an open forum. So anything that you guys want to say or discuss on this topic, now is the chance to let that fly. So Gooch, any thoughts, any other topics, any other whatever that you want to, talk about?
Since I missed the first half, I don't.
Go ahead.
Well, I just want to say, be safe out there. This world is not what it used to be, and gosh, you have to be well aware about your surroundings. We have to stop the hate. We have to make sure that we do a better job of first, I was going to say earlier, voting for people that had the same idea that you have on the gun laws. And just think about that when you vote. That's a start for me. I'm gonna stop right there.
What you got, D-Ray?
Love is an action word, right? Love is an action word. If you say that you love someone, if you are governed by a higher power, and that higher power has told you that you should love your neighbor, then there needs to be more action behind your love. Whether it is voter registration, whether it is educating yourself or your community, whether it is offering rides to people on election day. There needs to be more action behind love, because the one thing that I know for sure, when your loved one is laying dead in front of you, it's too late to save them. Love can't get them out of the casket.
Thanks.
So that's all I got to say.
Is Lena still here, or did she drop off? I think she dropped off.
I think she dropped off.
All right, y'all. This has been a very enlightening and cathartic discussion. Okay. We must all remember not to forget. Okay. Remember not to forget. Let's not become desensitized to the violence and strive to make a change. Lobbyists such as the NRA do not have power unless we, the people, give it to them. We can't continue to allow politicians to win and hold us hostage. Remember, it is we, the people, not we, the politicians. So please, please, please get out there and vote. I would like to thank all of you for participating in the first ever Blast Media Roundtable. I hope in some way we were able to help and have your voices heard. I want to thank the panel, Ms. Lena, DJ Gooch, D-Ray the producer, Bonnie, therapist Tori, and the V when he was here. I want to appreciate y'all. And we cannot, just sit on our laurels. I mean, if we have a voice, if we have a platform, if we have something, we need to try to do something. And like I said, we must remember to not forget. Let's not forget. Okay. This is Blast Media LLC, Blast Music 24/7, Blast Radio 24/7. Signing off, DJ Gooch. All of you guys, appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have no idea. All right. Okay.